Good evening, viewers, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Metroid. You'll recall that last time we defeated Draygon, or Dragon, I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name, by the use of the grappling beam trick. I would actually recommend that you do it that way. There's no reason to do it any other way. However, let's suppose you didn't know about the trick. You might want to find some other way to defeat him. So we're going to do that to open today's episode. One thing you're going to want to do, either way, is destroy those covers of those panels, because they will actually shoot you. So even though you're not going to use your grappling beam on those panels, it'll still make your life easier to destroy those. Anytime you want to come out, be fine with me. Okay. And the other key is, do not let yourself get hit by the gray things, those, which is unfortunately one of the best times to be able to shoot him in his soft underbelly. Or her, I don't know. It's kind of an androgynous beast. I don't really, I don't really assign genders to these big beasts that come after me in video games. I don't know about you. I mean, sometimes you can, but anyway. So, yeah, you do not want to let yourself get picked up by that, because it takes up a lot of time. You can, like, jiggle yourself back and forth with the D-pad to get out, but it's just way easier not to get caught. It hurts you way too much, and just don't get caught. If you get caught, I would just really reset and try again. One thing you may also want to do, if you don't have very many missiles, there was a missile recharging station back in the vertical room before we went into the big room where you had to use the grappling beam again and again and again and again just to get here. If you go back there, you go through a secret passage to the lower right, and there's a missile recharge room. I kind of skipped it. Maybe I should have shown it to you, but I was just like, man, it's just a missile recharge room, and I don't really need any missiles because I'm going to use the grappling beam trick. Although for this save, I think I may have actually gone back. I'm not sure if I went back or not to get missiles, but you may want to have a full complement of missiles. It might make your life easier here. Yeah, just keep pumping away, and that's a good trick there. Just get into a morph ball, and then, he can't pick you up. Now this gets tricky. He starts swinging through faster and oh, got him. Yeah, he's swinging through faster and faster, and it's kind of hard to get him. Say, as far as death scenes go, I like an epic death, but that was kind of overlong, especially considering the amount of time it took for him even to appear. Anyway, so let's get rolling. No, I guess oh wait, this is a different save. Yeah, this is the original save when I used the grappling beam. Let's mosey on. Although, I think we're probably going to get our energy recharged in the room on our right first. Yep. Okay. Interesting thing about the space jump, which I'll show probably, I don't know if I showed in the last episode or if I showed in the bonus episode. Yeah, bonus episode, which will eventually be recorded and uploaded. The space jump sprite is actually different for the different suits, so it's not like a property of the space jump that it's purple. It's because you're wearing the gravity suit and space jumping. So I guess, just in case you want to turn off your gravity suit for some reason, there are space jump sprites for the regular suit and for the various suit. So that's kind of interesting. So this room is kind of like a shortcut. It goes back towards that big long steel pipe that we went through in the last episode. And this passage only opens up when you defeat the boss. Anyway, it's pretty handy. Saves you some significant amount of time. Now, in between that room and then a room that's 2 blocks above, you can actually sort of fall through and end up there, but there's no reason to do it. There aren't any enemies or anything you can... Sorry, aren't any items or anything you can win by doing that. And this room is now newly opened. Although it would have been a pain in the butt to get in, because you wouldn't have had the space jump, but you can't, I mean, to get in front of the door, but you couldn't even open the door until you defeat the boss, so. And you'll want to pay attention up here. I have... Let's see what beams I'm going to equip. Okay, I'm going to turn off the ice. It's just going to be charge wave spacer, so I don't have to freeze anything. Okay, so that took a couple shots to defeat all those critters. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. These guys look impervious to my weaponry, but... Alright, we've got the plasma beam. One of the best beams in the game. One of. And look how easily these guys are torn apart by that new beam. Just great. Good stuff. Oh, I missed one. That's a funny thing. I came in this room and I think, okay, I'm gonna defeat all the enemies, then I'm gonna pick up the power-up, and I spent probably like 20 minutes trying to figure out a way to kill them. And maybe there is another way, but I couldn't figure it out. Whoa, look at that. So, yeah. Get the plasma beam, then worry about the space pirates. Alright. So now, our next item of business is to defeat the last boss of the game. And you could probably make a very accurate guess as to who that boss might be. I won't mention it now, though, just in case, you know, you would prefer the surprise. Now, if you want, you can go right here, finally. I stress that this is just a convenience item. You don't really need this item that we're going to get to beat the game, but it's helpful to have. And it's easier to get through here now with the space jump anyway, so... Although it's not as easy as space jumping in an empty area. Well, actually, space jumping in a completely empty area is actually difficult because you have no frame of reference, so it's hard to see when you're hitting the apex, when you're sort of sinking just below the high point of your jump, and then, you know, the time to actually jump again. See, like here, it's hard to, you sort of have to go by the way the screen bounces up and down. So it can be a little difficult. Okay, hang right here. You don't want to fall down too far. There we go. And get your power bomb out right away, if you want to save time. There we go. So otherwise you have to wait for this guy to go all the way up and down and around again. Okay. Now we're finally ready to move on. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do to destroy those sandy bricks except let that guy plow through them. Alright, we have the spring ball. Bet you can't guess what that does. Boing? Alright, good times, good times. That's almost... Yeah, I was gonna go to Samus's status screen and I was gonna be like, hey, that's all the stuff we need for Samus, but it is not. There is one, at least one more very important power-up. Okay, now we can just let ourselves fall down. We can't go up because those were the kinds of bricks that crumble when you stand on them and then immediately reform. Probably one of the more vexing features of the game. but, you know, it's pretty ingenious, you know, it's pretty ingenious? Does that mean it's not very smart? Okay, but it's a very well designed game. Boy, this room is so much easier with the space jump. Kind of annoying having to go around like this. I think they did it just because they want people to blow up the pipe. But I like the pipe. So this part I actually don't like so much, but maybe some people like blowing up the pipe, I don't know. But I like the pipe whole and intact. In fact, I'm almost tempted to sort of hack the save. There's a bit you can change about like whether the pipe's been blown open or not, and it's just like one little bit. And so I'm thinking, gee, you know, I could hack the save or change that, you know, and of course, then how would I get up into this area? Well, I suppose, you know, I could go around the long way, so I guess it's really not impossible to get here, it's just inconvenient. Okay, yeah, there's no reason for me to be there. What am I doing going in there? Wake up. Yeah, we don't need to do the speed boost shine spark thing again, thank goodness. Got better things to do with 12 hours. Yeah, this we could have gotten earlier, but I was like, it's probably easier just to wait until we get the space jump. So, but as you'll see, you could have come here and gotten the power up. Because this guy, he's not your friend, but he will sort of help you out. Up? Okay, alright. That's a little tricky. Now, okay. Stop. Whoa. No, too soon. Okay. No. Come on. Come on. Oh. Ow. Ouch. Yeah, it just makes you just want to sort of cheat and use the space jump. But no. We're gonna do it the way it was meant to be done. We use the grappling beam. Alright, up we go. There we go. Oh, this is frustratingly... Oh, got it. And if you like, you can repeat the same technique again, because there's another item in here. But I just prefer to do it my way. Just space jump across and get the missile and... Let's get out of here. Okay, you might have noticed just a little bit of a jump there. I recorded one version of this video, and then at that point, when I was looking over it later, I realized, you know, gee, I should make a go for those items that are in the sand fall up here, especially since it's easier to get there now that we have the space jump. And it's good to get all the energy tanks in the game. I'd be setting a poor example if I didn't get all the energy tanks. So, let's get all the energy tanks. And that's actually going to be the theme of the next 5 or 10 minutes of video, is just getting energy tanks. We're going to get energy tanks galore. We're going to have gratuitous amounts of energy. Okay, you want to go down the second... No, you want to go down the second sandfall here, the one on the left. The one on the right leads to a missile and a power bomb, which I'm not actually going to show you in this episode. It's kind of tedious to get down there and get it. However, it will be in the bonus episode. Now here's what I was talking about. You kind of want the spring ball for this. There, makes that a lot easier. There are, you know, you could bomb jump up, but let's just make life easy for ourselves. Besides, I never really was that good at bomb jumping. So you'll probably never see me make a speed run and try to get into a lot of sequence breaking with bomb jumping. It's just not my thing. It's so much easier to just play the game the way it's supposed to be played, rather than try to sequence break. Unless, like, you don't know where things are, which was kind of a problem when we first started picking up and playing, especially in the pre-massive adoption of the internet age. Like, I suppose I could have gone upstairs to my uncle's Pentium 133 and signed on, you know, to his limited internet with the dial-up modem, you know, like, you know, that stuff was available in the mid-90s, but, you know, just so difficult. There we go. I remember when I was around that age, or well, around that time, I kind of dreamt what things would be like if, you know, we had bigger storage media. I dreamt of these immersive worlds, but, you know, I guess we did sort of get that, but they're not really photorealistic yet. I mean, the graphics are astounding, but you can still tell stuff is computer generated. Should be interesting to see in the next 10 or 15 years if it gets to the point where you can actually fool people into thinking that, like, a computer generated game image, not a pre-rendered sequence, but a real-time game image is actually live footage, live television. And then the next step will be to get people in it. So, should be interesting. This will probably come as obvious advice to people, but I strongly recommend focusing on math and science, even if you are a dreamer, because it sort of helps discipline your mind to a certain extent, and it sort of just changes the way you think about things, and it's good. It helps your artistry, it helps your vision, helps it get some coherence. So yeah, we're gonna go after some more energy tanks, and in fact, while you're here, you can probably also go after some items that I'm not going to show in this video, but they will be in the bonus episode. Okay, where should we go first? Okay. Now, see that white dot in the upper left on the mini-map? You can go up there with your grappling beam, or in this case we have the space jump, so it's even easier, and you can pick up a missile. Then you can go through what's sort of like just a gap in the wall, and then you enter another room, and that leads ultimately to a power bomb. However, that again is going to have to wait till the bonus episode, although there is no good reason why I didn't go after this now. I just plumb forgot. Okay. When I'm trying to do a quick playthrough of the game, this energy tank is probably the one I'm most likely to miss. I often forget about this room, just like I forgot about that missile and power bomb on the other side of the main room there. Now this we could have blown our way in here much earlier, and gotten through this door much earlier, but it would just lead to this, and there's not much you can do without the gravity suit, because that requires a speed booster to break, but you get an energy tank for all your trouble. Hey, do you want to feel so energetic? Boy, Samus Aran would be a perfect Power Thirst mascot. I mean, look at this stuff she's doing. That's kind of annoying. Instead of having power bombs in the game, maybe they should have just had an upgraded regular bomb. Then you wouldn't have to push select and go tick 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 and select it and everything, because other than getting into places, there's not a lot of use for power bombs. Yeah, they can clear some weaker enemies off your screen, but there is such a thing as I think it's called a beam shield, which I will probably show you in the bonus episode. I've already recorded the bonus episode, and it's chock full of content. All the stuff I should have done when I was doing the main show. But, it's my first Let's Play series. Anyway, on with the show. Get through here. And we're off to find the last boss of the game. Right? The very last boss of the game. Oh, I wish that pipe were still there. Also, if you want, you can go to the right there and get a missile in the wall, which you have to do a little bit of power bombing to get to it. And it's easy to do it now because you have the spring ball, so this would actually be the ideal time to go for that. But I'm gonna leave it to the bonus episode. I love shortcuts. Actually, that reminds me, I'm playing Final Fantasy VIII right now, and Balamb Garden is just so tedious to walk around. I finally learned about the fact that you can go up to the sign and press, just select a location and press B or A or whatever, and then go to the hallway leading up to that location, like say the dormitory or the cafeteria or the library, but it doesn't work going back the other way. There should be a panel that you can go to when you're in those areas that sends you back to the directory, or just have another building directory in every sub area, because it's really annoying to walk all the way back and then all the way back again when you're trying to win the Keistis card or something. It's just not very much fun. Anyway, so what I'm doing here is I'm reloading on super missiles. I was originally going to fast forward through this, but I ended up talking about Final Fantasy VIII instead. Anyway, I think that's good enough, so let's just keep going. Consider turning your ice beam on in here. Make life a little bit easier for you. But at least you don't have to worry about going into the hot water. I wouldn't really call that lava. I think it's just bubbling hot water. Probably, I don't know, probably close to 100 degrees centigrade. Okay. Now with the space jump and the gravity suit, we can go up in here. I wonder who that reminds me of. Look at those lovely claws. Save room here if you're so inclined. And that's all for today's episode of Let's Play Super Metroid. Next time, we explore Lower Norfair.